is I. How do I start my videos? Hello friends, it is I, Candace, the Edgy Veg. Welcome back. Exciting things happening in the world of vegan. There's so many like plant-based meat products coming out now. Obviously we know that the best thing we can do for the environment is to reduce the amount of meat that we're eating. So I'm super excited about the Meatless Farm Co. Now this is a new product that's come out from the UK. You know, I've used a lot of burgers. I've used a lot of faux meats that are chicken based. This actually looks like ground beef and it's super exciting today because they're sponsoring today's video. And I get to use it in real time, first impression style with you guys because I have not cooked with this yet. So we're gonna see how it stands up to ground beef and the other meat products out there. Let's not call it faux meat because it's not faux, it's the real deal. It's just plant-based. So I wanna see, is this the next big plant-based meat product that you can use flawlessly in place of, you know, animal farmed meat? So the Meatless Farm Co., these guys right here, have been developing their products for about 2 years now, trying to make, you know, the transition from traditional farmed meat to plant-based meat completely seamless and flawless for you guys. They are new to Canada, which is amazing because if every Canadian just swapped out one meal a week from ground beef to a plant-based mince or alternative, you would lower your emissions, like personally, by 5%, which is amazing. It is also gluten-free, it's made from non-GMO soy, and it's actually healthier for you. So it's less fat, less calories, has almost the same amount of protein, and has more fiber. So you're, you know, saving the planet and being healthy at the same time, which is win-win for everyone and being nice to animals, which is great. So they have the ground meat, the burger, they're working on a sausage. I should clarify, it's not out yet, but I'm super excited to try that. But I have tried the burgers and now we're gonna try to test out this mince in a recipe that I have been eyeing and wanting to veganize for a long time, which is Reese Witherspoon's chili pie with a cornbread crust. So I've seen this on Instagram that it's like the thing that she brings to her friends' houses. And she's a Southern girl. Apparently this is like a very Southern inspired recipe that she's been cooking for a while. So I wanted to see if I can veganize it. And I think that this would be the perfect thing to test it in. All right, so I'm heating up a skillet here. Basically what this recipe is chili on the bottom and cornbread on top, which just, it's so good because you would make chili and serve it with cornbread, right? That's just like the natural thing that you would do. And sometimes if you don't cook cornbread properly, or you have a bad recipe, or you don't know what you're doing, you'll end up with dry cornbread. So if you bake the cornbread on top of the chili, then the moisture from the chili goes up into the cornbread and keeps it nice and moist, which is genius. And then you can serve it with things on the side. So for the chili, I'm gonna keep it pretty basic chili. So I used some elements from her recipe and then of course mine, which all of you guys love. So we've got 2 different types of beans. We've got mushrooms, tomatoes, onions, spices, and corn. And we are just going to make a basic chili and then do an adaptation of my favorite veganized cornbread. All right, so let's start with heating up some olive oil in a skillet. We are going to make almost everything in the skillet, so you don't have to, you know, dirty a bunch of dishes. I can't think of a single recipe where I don't use garlic, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, is it even an Edgy Veg recipe if it doesn't have garlic in it? Okay, now I'm going to add the mushrooms. That's what they're called, adding mushrooms. And I'm going to cook that for about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to add a little bit of salt just to bring out the moisture from the mushrooms. Usually I don't want the moisture in the mushrooms to come out because I like nicely browned mushrooms. But with this recipe, because it's a chili, I do want that nice mushroom moisture because it adds a nice umami flavor. Brown the mushrooms a little bit. Cook that until the garlic is fragrant and the onions are translucent. So it does have that look of mince. So apparently it isn't seasoned. So you can season it to whatever you want. So for me, I want it to taste like a chili and beef and chili. So I'm going to season it with taco seasoning. Definitely like looks like ground beef. Now I'm going to add the beans, the tomatoes, and the, there we go. and the corn. Chili powder. That's really up to you. I'm going to add a little bit because I do like a little bit of heat to my chili. So it really just depends on what your tolerance is to heat. Make sure it is all thoroughly combined. And add a little pinch of salt. And while I'm at it, a little pinch of salt to the chili. Give that a stir once in a while as you're doing this too, just to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom of your cast iron pan. All right, that's whisked. Now I'm going to whisk the wet ingredients. Fold in the wet to the dry until it's, you know, mixed together, because that's how cooking works. That sounded sarcastic as all hell. And I mean, I didn't mean for it to be, but that's just how I talk. Now, depending on how thick you want your cornbread crust to be, if you have a larger cast iron pan, you want, you know, a little bit of a thicker cornbread topper, you can always double this part. Or if you don't have, you know, a cast iron pan, you're doing it in a cake dish or a casserole dish and you need a little bit more, then you can just add more of this. So the key really is to smooth out the chili first and then add your cornbread, and then we're gonna throw this into the oven for, depending on your oven, anywhere between 25 and 35 minutes. So I'm gonna throw that in. All right, guys, I cooked it for about 35 minutes for the size of my pan, just because I like it to be, you know, nice and golden on top. It looks so good. It looks so good. So we need to let it sit for about 5-ish minutes, just so that when we lift it out, it doesn't go everywhere. So then I'm gonna slice it and we're gonna try it. All right, guys, here we are. I've just taken a quick photo for Instagram. So I have paired it with some vegan sour cream, some salsa, pickled jalapenos because they're so good, and some cilantro, but you can really top it with whatever you want. In terms of usability, the Meatless Farm Co. mince was a dream to use. It worked the exact same way as a normal ground beef. You could definitely flawlessly put this into any recipe, but we all want to know, how does it taste? Let's get a good meaty chunk here. That's some plant-based beef right there. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, this has the exact same texture. It definitely has the same flavor without having to add too many additional things to get that, you know, beefy flavor that chili has. I think you would definitely use this in any recipe that requires a mince. This and my lasagna would be amazing. You can make meatballs with this. Yeah, I'd say this is definitely a winner. I did add a little bit more cornbread to the top because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. So the updated recipe for this, as always, will be in the description box down below. Thank you so much to Meatless Farm Co. for not only creating this product, which is great for you, the environment, and the animals, but also for sponsoring me so I can bring this amazing product to the world. It's new to Canada. If you are in Canada, you can find it at just like your regular chain grocery stores like Loblaws and Longos. Also, they will be obviously in specialty shops and health food stores, as well as a couple select butcher shops. So if you like this video, give it a big huge thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section below what you want me to veganize next. If you have a special recipe that you love or that you've seen online, you want to see the vegan version of it, definitely leave me a comment and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, because you definitely don't want to miss out on new videos like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye!